We're broadcasting live from Houston with Ernesto Verdugo and live from Dubai with Dave Crane. You are watching the Toilet Paper Diaries.
Hey Dave, how are you?
I'm good, Ernesto. How are you? Nice to talk to you. It's always a pleasure to see your face.
Absolutely.
It feels good every day.
Always a pleasure. Well, we are starting today with a very interesting topic. But, well, first of all, let me ask you, how was your day?
Not a challenge, to be honest. It was the first time I went shopping in about 6 days. And I had rubber gloves on and I had the face mask on. And it really is weird to go shopping, even just to a local corner shop. And the physical distancing thing, it really hit me because a guy who came after me at the till wasn't wearing a mask or any gloves or anything. And he wanted to push in next to me to make sure that nobody else could get into that space. So he came really close. And that wouldn't have bothered me before, but it really did bother me today. It seemed really inconsiderate. So that's what's kind of hit me today. How about yourself?
Yeah, well, actually, I went to the supermarket yesterday. It was my first experience in the supermarket since the lockdown. Most of the shopping has been done by my wife, and this time it was my chance to be there, and it was eerie. First of all, I mean, half of the shelves are empty, which is very weird to see. I mean, it's like if you are in I don't know, I mean, really like a banana republic or something. And then afterwards, everybody's trying to avoid you. And it was incredibly uncomfortable. So yesterday you were telling me about that we have to change this term about physical distancing is one thing and not so much social distancing, which I think is quite interesting.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I understand why we call it social distancing because it made sense as a way of getting everybody to understand the need to be far apart. But the amount of people who are just alone right now. I mean, if you're looking at some of the countries, like for instance in Sweden, you've got 50% of the country are young and single. So they leave home about the age of 18, 19. They go into a one-bedroom apartment and they stay on their own. So when it comes to a lockdown, luckily they're used to it. But 50% of the country is like that. Now, for many other people, you get a studio flat, especially around Dubai. You get a studio flat because you're always out. It's just a place to leave your stuff. It's a really lonely time. So I think it's very important we talk about physical distancing, but social connection as a real counterpoint to that.
Correct. Yesterday, I was wandering around some of information on this topic because we always want to share accurate information. And one of the things that I found was this. It was actually a presentation. There's a council for social isolation and loneliness. And it really got me thinking. And, you know, yesterday, I will not actually mention his name, but I was talking to a friend of mine in the Netherlands. And he was telling me that he's a good looking chap. He goes out and he enjoys having a very nice life. But right now, he has been in lockdown for 3 weeks. And he was basically sharing with me how lonely he feels. And that's why I think it's absolutely critical that we cover this information and everything which is happening through those people, because I think you and we have a family and we are living together with our family, and I think it's fantastic. But if you think about it, there's a ton of people which don't have anyone around. I mean, starting from, for example, my mom is living on her own, and my mother-in-law is living on her own. And those are, you know, those people which are at high risk. And then, of course, we have the younger generation, the entrepreneurs, the speakers, the solopreneurs, which are also there on their own. And I think it's just absolutely critical that we have some empathy for them and we make sure that we let them know that we care for them.
Yeah, I think one of the things that's different about nowadays than maybe, say, 10, 20 years ago is more people are holding back getting married and more people are enjoying their career and being single than ever before. I mean, we're lucky we've got families, as you mentioned, but I mean, it must be brutal to be like this. And I feel for every single person who's going through that. And having a coffee date where you just switch on your screen and chat to somebody over coffee, or you cook and chat to each other, that connection is vital. It's the only way to do it. So what we've done today is we've reached out to many of our very good friends from all around the world. I mean, I can't tell you the people we're expecting to hear from today's show, just to make sure that we do connect. And we let everybody know that wherever you are in the world, we're here for you. You be here for us, and you spread the word and look after other people as well, because it's so vital that during a time like this, we are connected and we do tell the truth. And we do say it's horrible and it's difficult. So then people don't think that you're making it up. They actually understand how to help you and move forward together.
Exactly. I also think, well, it doesn't matter how weird it is right now. We are living a historical moment. Actually, I'm just bringing here the live feed of the coronavirus pandemic live world map. So let me just go live into it so that you can see how it is going on, because one of the things that you need to take into consideration is that we are living history. The last time that there was a pandemic this size was in 1918, the Spanish flu. And it was in no way, shape, or form close to what we were actually doing. So I think it's just very interesting so that you can see the live feed of how every single country is actually working there. And it's very interesting. You can actually go see it yourself. You can see all the different countries just going up there. 737,000 cases.
It's terrible. It's so horrible and scary and brutal. And I read an article this morning about how some of our world leaders have been going onto social media to delete posts because they don't want it to go down in history. But not only do they not tell the truth about it, but they said it's under control and it's all fine, because it's not under control and it's not fine. And it's a brutal way that the world is suffering right now. It should never have got to this stage. Just to be honest, it should never have got to this stage for lots of different reasons.
I agree. It's crazy. I mean, right now we have a third of the planet is actually in lockdown, and then there is Mexico, and this is one of the things that really gets me tremendously sad. I mean, I don't want to either attack any politicians or mention anything negative about anything, but I think the facts can talk on their own.
Milan, New York, New Delhi, Madrid, just a few of the many global cities that are shut down to prevent the coronavirus pandemic. And then there's Mexico City. Here, off the bustling Paseo de la Reforma, there's an unsettling sense of normalcy.
Todos los demás países están en crisis, están en problemas muy cañones, y nuestro presidente está como, tranquilos, ahorita se arregla, somos México, no pasa nada.
But Mexico's president, Andrés Manuel López Obrador, has continued to say there's no cause for alarm and resist the measures other countries have taken to slow the virus's spread. This was his message in early March.
Lo del coronavirus, eso de que no se puede uno abrazar, hay que abrazarse. No pasa nada.
López Obrador, also known as AMLO, has continued to hold political rallies around Mexico, shaking hands and hugging admirers. Other government officials may encourage social distancing, but he asks people to go out and spend their pesos.
No debe de caerse en el miedo, en la psicosis.
But according to a recent OECD report, Mexico has fewer nurses and fewer intensive care beds per capita than Italy, South Korea, and the US. A count of ventilators in state facilities revealed only about 2,050 machines in the entire country. International leaders have criticized López Obrador's response to the crisis as irresponsible. The president of El Salvador even begged Mexico, via Twitter, to take more drastic measures so as not to become the next epicenter of the pandemic.
So yeah, as we can see, it's just absolutely crazy. And it's something that I cannot really understand, because as I was saying, we have to understand that we're living a historical moment. This is something that has never happened. And we are here together. And let me just show this other slide, because I think it will be very interesting for you to see the trajectory of how everything is moving and into which direction we are moving. So I'm going to show you this trajectory in a couple of times so that you can see it. So first of all, at the beginning of February, this was China, and then afterwards all the other countries started going into that direction. So as you can see, China's already going down, but the US, Italy, Spain, and all these other countries are still moving into this direction. So this is a serious thing, which is a very important thing, and that's why being apart and being quarantined is absolutely critical. But what we don't want is all of you guys, which are on your own, to start feeling lonely. And that's the reason why we want to share with you how exactly is that we are connecting with all our friends.
Absolutely. And I mean, you're a Mexican, so for you, it must hurt so much to see, I mean, without going down the politics route, politics will iron itself out in time, but to not tell people what is going on. A week is such a difference at the beginning of a virus breaking out. A week is the difference between tens and hundreds of thousands of people dying and it being able to be stopped, because people know exactly what to do, because this actual virus just sits tight. It doesn't tell everybody that you're sick. It sits there and you look perfectly well, and then it'll get you up to 24 days later. And everybody you've connected with during that time, you are viral, and you can catch it from them. And the things you touch and the things and the way you speak to people can make that difference. And it's just heartbreaking to think about how the world is in this state and how it's come down. I mean, it comes from a very simple thing, which is through not looking after the climate, we're going out into more places, knocking down more trees, going up into mountains and places we've never been before, and finding animals that we've never been near. And so whether it's bats or it's monkeys or whatever, some people will eat them and they carry diseases that we just don't know how to deal with. And so watching a documentary earlier today, they're saying that this is not the end of it. This is just the one that we got this year. There's going to be more of that until we actually decide to pull back and let things be as they are rather than keep pushing it.
Yeah.
And we're going to go to talk to people, I hope, because we need to lighten it. I just want to say one thing, and it's a news report I saw today, and it's haunted me ever since I watched it, and it stays with me all the way through. And this is the thing that really is so important that we push the connection. What we're going to be doing today is the majority of people who die as a result of the coronavirus, which you'd hope they die in hospital because at least they got some care, actually die alone. Why? Because they're in quarantine and their families can't come and see them. And right now there's meat trucks and there's refrigerators and all sorts that are storing people, and it's just brutal. And I really want the opportunity through this show to let people know, live your life, be connected, care about people. Let's get connected with people and let them know that we do care and they're never alone. And that's one of the reasons today's show is really dedicated to making sure that we connect with the many friends we have around the world and make sure that you get the chance to connect with them as well, to let them know and let everybody know that wherever you are, if you're on your own, we're still here for you. And we wanted to introduce you to some dear friends of ours who are there for you as well.
Absolutely. I think it is incredibly important. And right now, normally our intention with this show is to always, try to cheer you up and bring you some positive news. But sometimes also we have to be realistic. And that's why we wanted to actually share with you all this information. But I think now it's time that we move on and we start already seeing the power of having these kind of shows. Right now, we're seeing the community growing. Right now, we have gone to 1,500 views in one single day. We're getting repeat people coming right now. For example, we see our good friend Sami Kalik, which is an influencer from Houston, Texas, which is saying, "How guys, keep up the good work." We're having also here Janice Hooker Foreman telling us that even though the internet is so busy, she's just spending time with us. We have Margarita Foley, which I haven't heard from a long time. She's also letting us know about what she's doing in the spiritual arena. And that we could go on and on about the impact that we're having with this show, and we want you to be part of this impact. In fact, Dave and I, because of what we shared before, we are really sort of starting a movement. We want to make sure that you are part of our Never Alone tribe. We started asking for some of our, the people that were in our network, so that they will become reporters, field reporters for us. And they started doing an absolutely great job. And right now we have been really inundated with amazing requests for them to be on the show. So a little bit later on in the show, we will let you know how you could be also part of the show, how you could also appear in this show. But let's go right now first, because the telephone is ringing. And we are getting right now a call from Singapore. So
Simon Heng,
Simon
a really
Heng,
good friend of mine, really talented radio and TV presenter, great speaker as well. Good to see you, Simon. How are you?
Hi guys, I'm Simone Heng, global keynote speaker on the topic of human connection, videoing you from Singapore. Now, I would like to share with you a few things. Firstly, as human beings, we are wired through our neocortex to connect. When we don't connect with other people, like right now with self-quarantine and social distancing, can lead us to becoming a little bit depressed. So here's my top tip to get you through COVID-19's isolation. Send video messages to those people in your circle that are the most vulnerable. This means your elderly grandparents, possibly another country, or maybe even a friend or two that you know in the past has experienced some depression or anxiety. Send them messages. This makes them feel acknowledged and reminds yourself that you're part of a bigger network. And that connection is going to be needed even digitally during this time.
That's great advice, Simone. And this is one of the reasons why we are actually doing this, because we're actually getting us to connect. So, Dave, we have a lot of people actually waiting there on the line. We have our next on-field reporter, Simon from Kent.
Simon Headley.
Simon Headley.
Simon Headley from Kent in England. We were with Simon about 2-3 weeks ago. I went to in Dubai, doing Speak in Dubai and Speak in India. I love Simon. Great guy. How are you doing, Simon?
Hi, Dave. Hi, Ernesto. It's Simon Headley. I'm here in Kent. And as you can see, it is a gorgeous sunny day. But that said, it is not a sunny climate, a sunny environment out there in the world. I'm here on lockdown, but thankfully we've got some garden space. We can walk around here in this property here in Kent. And actually been locked down here now for about 10 days, sort of choosing to be away. And luckily, normally we work phone and web. We do have live meetings. So in some ways, it's business as normal. We have the internet, we have food, and we're okay. But at the same time, I'm very present to friends, clients of ours are not doing so well. Some of those have lost their jobs. Some of those have really stressed out, worrying how they're going to educate and feed their children, especially when they haven't got deliveries now. So in the UK, there are people who are high risk. They're getting deliveries. But if you're just a normal family or a normal single parent, you're actually not on that list. And a lot of places now are struggling with that. And on top of that, there's the cash flow. They may not have a car, may not have the ability to go to the shops. And I think that's going to get worse before it gets better. It's an interesting time. There are people reaching out and connecting and making a difference. And I'm really grateful for you guys in the studio sharing what you are. And I hope we continue this. So thank you for watching, and we'll see you guys next time. Back to the studio. Bye for now.
It's great to hear from Simon. Thanks so much, Simon, for taking the time to connect with us. And he's a real star. He's an incredible connecting guy. Knows everybody on every stage across the planet, and he's a real genius as well. So thanks for taking the time, Simon. Appreciate it.
Yeah, it is. That's one of the things that we want to make sure that we not only connect with entrepreneurs, not only connect with speakers, which is exactly the kind of business that we're in, but we want to expand our network into connectors. So if you're a connector, make sure that you guys go into our tribe that we're going to be calling right now the Never Alone tribe. We want to make sure that this actually becomes a movement. You can just go there and join us. It's a LinkedIn group. Let me just see who else we have around here. We are getting all the way from Aspen, Colorado. We're getting Catherine McIntosh, which is always a pleasure. She's one of the most amazing ladies that I know. Also, you know her well, Dave.
She's brilliant. The creator of a No Judgement Diet. And Aspen, you can see how beautiful it is there. And she's looking great as well. I've not seen her for about a year and a half or so. So hello to Catherine. How are you?
Hi, Dave and Ernesto. It's Catherine McIntosh live in Aspen, Colorado. And you can see behind me the ski slopes. And, you know, they've been closed for 2 weeks. So what the heck are we doing in these trying times? Well, my point of view is whatever you're doing to get by, whatever you are choosing to do to survive and hopefully to thrive, is choose whatever you got to choose, but don't judge you. So I'm the founder of the No Judgement Diet, and our belief at the No Judgement Diet is, my friends, it's not about the food you're eating. It's not about the choices you're choosing. It's whether or not you're judging you, right? Because judgment doesn't create more. And so there's these tips and tools of, you know, people are like, Catherine, I'm gaining weight. I'm going to eat everything in my fridge. And I'm like, well, if you need to do that, just don't judge you, because it's not the food that creates the weight gain or the problems. It's the judgment that perpetuates the need to continue this cycle to addiction. And I think we all know in these changing times, now more than ever, we got to choose a different philosophy. So you can find me at Catherine_McIntosh on Instagram and the No Judgement Diet on Facebook. Ernesto and Dave, you two are amazing. Back to you at the studio.
That's super cool. Thank you, Catherine. And I think that's great advice. It's not time to judge yourself of what
all the things you're saying there about your diet as well. I mean, you and I have we've got this fatness competition going on. I know you're walking the dog today, and I've been doing some stuff as well. But right now, it's about staying alive. Right now, it's about the ability to eat food and live your life. So we're not pushing people to get suddenly healthy. It's an opportunity, but just look after yourself internally as much as externally. You know, you've got to be spiritually, you've got to be emotionally, you've got to be healthily, and you've got to be physically well. And all those things have to come together. And if you can get your business to run as well, that's fantastic too. But it all starts internally. So look after you. And if you've got to order in fast food to keep you ticking over, because that fits your budget, that's what you do.
Yeah, Dave, sorry to interrupt you, but we are also getting right now ready to talk to Monique all the way from Atlanta, Georgia. So
Monique, nice to see you. Communications expert as well, turning likes to loves. That's what she does in business. So let's find out what she's saying.
Thank you, Dave, and thank you, Ernesto. I'm Monique Russell, reporting live from the Atlanta area. So, guys, I'll tell you right now, we are noticing and experiencing and learning from a lot of others that are facing that major itch, that itch to get out and connect with others, especially those that are very extroverted. So what we are doing on this end is we're reaching out to those that we know in our community that are facing those moments of loneliness, facing those moments of needing to connect with others. And we're just making sure that we have conversation. This is something that anyone and everyone can really focus on doing their part. Like many of us, we are now primarily 100% focused online. I do miss the interaction with others, I'll tell you that. And when I do my walks around my neighborhood, it's amazing the things that we're now seeing. People who were previously ignored or previously ignored others within the community are now making small talk, making conversation. So we're seeing that in the midst of all of this chaos, in the midst of all of this uncertainty, there is an opportunity for connection and an opportunity for communication. So we want to encourage everyone from that end to really focus on doing their part. In other areas, we're giving advice and connecting on how to keep your team engaged, giving leaders tips on how to make sure that their days are structured effectively, and also helping their employees to do the same thing. So that's what we've been up to on our end. Back to you guys in the studio.
Thanks, Monique. Perfect. And nice to see she's in Atlanta with a map of the world behind us. And that lets us know how many people we're trying to reach and connect to, and let them know that they're never alone as well. Some great people have had on the show so far. It's great. It's like a who's who of our phone bill. So it's really good. So any more callers coming in, Ernesto?
Even though that we are far away, I love that everybody is connecting with us and wanting to share information with us. And this is the spirit that we are actually in. Right now, we are getting already all the way from Sedona, Arizona. We are getting our good friend Gunther Mueller.
Hello everyone, Gunther Mueller here, the Optimal Health Strategist, coming at you live from Sedona, Arizona. It's one of the most amazingly beautiful spots in all of Arizona and actually in the United States. I wanted to talk to you a little bit for the Toilet Paper Diaries here as to what's going on in the United States and specifically what's going on in Arizona, and give you a couple of health tips as to how you can stay safe during this quarantined economy and during the pandemic era. Things are good here in Arizona. We don't have that many deaths. We obviously can walk around. And one of the tips I want to give you is that you got to stay active. All right. You got to move your body, get out there, do some things because your physiological systems need to get some movement in them. The second thing is get some high dose vitamin C going on. If you can take up to about 2,000-3,000 milligrams a day of vitamin C, that will be as antiviral of a protection that you can do for yourself. The only downside to taking vitamin C is that it might give you some loose stool. So if you get that side effect, then back it off a little bit and don't take quite as much. But take as much as you can take that you can tolerate. The second thing is get your vitamin D3 levels up. You want them up above 50. So just start taking 5,000 or 10,000 IU a day, whatever you can get your hands on. And then if you can find some iodine, that is also antiviral, antibacterial, antifungal, all kinds of protection in this environment of disease. All right, so hope you're doing well wherever you are in the world. We're getting by here in beautiful Arizona, and I want to take it back to Ernesto and Dave in the studio. Thanks so much for having me on. Hope you guys are doing well, and we'll talk to you soon.
It's amazing out there. Look at that view. Ernesto, that's where I want to go. And it's nice to know we can still go out and walk around because we're in lockdown, certainly in Dubai. I think you are in Houston as well. I don't think you can lock anybody down if they're living in a place like that. But if you're wanting to know what Gunther was saying about all the things you should be taking, watch the replay. And then you can make a note of it just in case you missed it there. So it will be available for you to watch very soon, as soon as we finish broadcasting.
Correct. This is one of the things that I really love. I mean, that we are surrounded by really interesting people, by lovely people, but by people that really care about everyone else. And that actually should make us very proud to have all these people in our surroundings. So that's great. I am just right now getting one more call. This one, I think it's coming from Australia. Yeah, Mary
Henderson, the #1 personal branding guru in the US and in Australia. So good for you to join us. How's it going, Mary?
Hi Dave and Ernesto. As you can see, I'm here in my home office working away. I'm at the moment working on a strategy and just staying really, really focused. But it's just amazing when you're at home, how focused I've actually been, and I'm really enjoying it at the moment. As you can see here, I'll just show you, I'm just doing a bit of a brainstorm session. You can see there's my wall. And I'm just thinking out loud and really enjoying the space. So I just wanted to wish all of your viewers a safe and healthy week ahead. Take this opportunity to really dig deep, get those ideas out and be creative. And as you can see, I have lots of paper on my wall where I do a lot of my thinking out loud. Anyway, great initiative, guys, and I wish you all the best.
Thank you, Mary. Wonderful. Lights, cameras, and action from Australia. We've been everywhere today. Ernesto, I think we've just covered all the continents, or almost all the continents, in one show. It's not bad.
Yeah, that's absolutely fantastic. So once again, you are never alone. It doesn't matter how far away we are. I think we always feel very close, and we are so incredibly excited that since we started this show, we have gone through a lot of viewership in less than 2 weeks, and we have also gained a lot of really nice comments from people telling us how much they're appreciating what we are doing. And I think right now, because of support for all those entrepreneurs, for all those connectors, for all those extroverts, for all those people which are solopreneurs, speakers, we would like to make sure that we connect with you and that you connect with us. Now, we mentioned that we would like to possibly invite you to be part of the show and also have some appearances. So let me give you a couple of guidelines. If you are a speaker If you're an expert, it'll be great if you share with us some information about who you are. We will give you some instructions if you let us know in a video. Dave will explain to you in a second what is exactly what you need to do. And if you are, somebody which is not really in public, but you also have some good tips or some advice for everyone, make sure to share it with us. So, Dave, can you let them know what is exactly what we're planning?
Yeah, we've got an incredible hashtag that we're going to start sending around the world, which is hashtag Never Alone Tribe. And with that hashtag, please put it on stuff so we can find out who you are and start building more connections with this show. We want to get together all the communicators, all the speakers, all the people who are connecting. And the tribe itself is not political. Let me just say that from the very beginning. It's not about a movement where we just go, let's blame everybody. That's not the point. And it's also, like the show, it's not about the fact that we're trying to grow something that's crazy. What we're doing is we want to make sure that everybody who's on their own right now isn't on their own. There's a lot of people who won't be with us in the next 24 hours and 48 hours and beyond. And I want to make sure that everybody sticks to the rules of physical distancing, but socially connecting and feeling that they're with people all around the world. That's why we've had all these stars coming on, and we've got more stars lined up for the next couple of days to join us. Now, what we're after from you, let us know who you are. We're after about 90 seconds worth of connection with you. And when you join our group on LinkedIn, and that is www.bit.ly, I think we've got a connection we're going to put up on the screen in a moment, www.bit.ly, hashtag Never Alone Tribe. Join there if you're a speaker, you're a communicator, you've got a message, you've got tips to share. And what we'll do is we'll get you on the show in the next couple of days, couple of weeks to make sure that you get connected. And we want you to be out there as well, because you are making a difference. There's a ton of people who, after they finish watching stuff from all the box sets on their own, are just feeling really lonely. There's a lot of people who are in relationships are feeling really lonely, or in their families are feeling really lonely. What we want to do is give the opportunity for people to become friends online, even if you can't do it physically. I mean, hopefully, when it's all over and we're all out and we're all chatting and we don't need to do this show anymore because people are now moving forward, hopefully much better as a result of the business tips and the social media tips and all the things that we've done, then we just have a better place. So that's what we're doing. We have an opportunity now to grow our tribe, and we want you to be part of it. And if you want to connect with me personally, then you can see my contact details there, thedavecrane.com. Get me on WhatsApp. That's the easiest way to connect with me, but all my details are there as well. And for Ernesto, www.ernesto.today. Connect with either of us. If we can put you in contact with somebody or we can help you, then please make sure to make that connection, because we're here for you 100%.
And with that, Dave, we are running out of time. I think it was a very exciting show. And I do look forward to keep on being together throughout these days of quarantine.
And we got an opportunity to make a difference, and that's what it was all about. We made a decision 10, 12 days ago that if we do what we can do, we can start making people's lives better. That's our only agenda, and I hope that we're doing that today and do even more tomorrow. So wherever you are in the world, we hope you've enjoyed this show. Stay connected, reach out to people, make phone calls to people, do a video message to somebody who's not seen you for a while or somebody who you know is feeling the pain, and have a coffee with them online, have a chat, Skype, Zoom, whatever it takes. And we'll be back to you tomorrow, same time, with the Toilet Paper Diaries.